20 new tracks that I think you should be listening to for the past like 4 or 5 weeks. This is a brand new show on the channel, and the idea is if you can walk away after finishing this video with 3 to 5 new songs, new artists to add to your playlist, I think I've done my job. Some of the tracks are great, some of them are interesting, some not so good. Got special guests. Oh man, I'm excited. Let's kick things off with one of my favorite songs from the month then. It's Rosalia with SAOKO. I mean, you could pick probably 8 tracks from Moto Mami. This one with its just like crazy swirling jazzy drums and that grimy like reggaeton beat, but it takes it in a different direction to other reggaeton tracks that I've heard. It just sets the scene, man, for this absolute triumph of a record. I mean, really listen to the whole album, but SAOKO, man, it's a standout. It's been on repeat for me. So yeah, definitely check that one out. Big recommendation and big excitement, actually. Joey Badass, Head High.
So I hold my head high till they put me below.
If you haven't, definitely go and check out the Colours performance of this one. Beautiful. They always do amazing work over there. I'm sorry for ever doubting you, Joey. Listen, The Revenge, it wasn't a great track. That hook, super repetitive, sounded like something from a 2K sports game from about 5 years ago. This is a real return to form and a reminder to everyone, to me, we should never have doubted you, one of the premier spitters in the world. And the story about XXXTentacion in the second verse really does hit home. So yeah, really excited for this new record. Big recommendation, that one. Up next, another big track, one you've probably heard, but if you haven't, go and listen to it immediately. It's Pusha T from the NIGO record. It's called Hear Me Clearly.
Hear me clearly.
You know exactly what to expect and it delivers. Give me that album, mate. Just give me that album now, whether it's out in the world. Just give me it. Give me it, please. Now, normally on this show, it'll only be 1 song per album, but this is kind of a compilation album, so I'll get away with it. It's Tyler, the Creator, from the NIGO album. It's Come On, Let's Go. Tyler is just on top form still. This could have been a cut from Call Me If You Get Lost, and nobody would have batted an eyelid. It would have fit perfectly in that record. He just has that way of like approaching and attacking a beat when he switches up that flow, when he finds different pockets in unusual areas. It's almost like you take it for granted with him because he's been doing it for so long, like a decade now, and he's so good at it, and it's such a like uniquely Tyler sound that he perhaps doesn't get the credit for these flow patterns that he finds. But yeah, a cracking track.
Cracking cheese.
I really enjoyed the project overall, but yeah, those were the 2 standouts for me. So it's not just me giving you recommendations around here. First of all, I want to see all your recommendations from songs in the last 4 weeks or so. Down in the comments, we'll all be reading them and getting you recommendations. And in fact, I will take some of those into next month's video. But we're also going to get some special guests. So here's a recommendation from the man himself. Take it away, Ruff Criminal.
One of my favorite songs in March actually came out at the end of February. It's called Brothers, and it's from the Australian rock band Gang of Youth. They released an album this year called Angel in Real Time, and most of the subject matter is about the lead singer grappling with his identity. His dad passed away not too long ago, and he's been uncovering a lot of family secrets since. The culmination of the secrets and the identity crisis occur on this track, Brothers. The song structure is really simple. It's just ABAB style poetry over a repeated piano melody. But to me, what makes it special, obviously, is the content. It's about a 5-minute track of him laying bare all these secrets that he discovered about his father and his family. And I don't want to spoil any of it because it's really a tremendous first listening experience. If you haven't heard of Gang of Youths at all, they released an album in 2017 called Go Farther in Lightness that was one of my favorites of the year. And their new album is really special too. I can't stop listening to Brothers. That's going to be my track of the month.
Yeah, great job, mate. I asked you for a song from March and you give me one from February. Who would have thought that the 10-second guy can't figure out time? But yeah, despite the fact that Ruff can't read a calendar, that's a big recommendation. I don't think it's the best song on an album in terms of musicianship. But wow, really quite a revelatory track. Talking of old Ruff Criminal, he actually put me onto an artist called Cassandra Jenkins last year. She's got a new song called Pygmalion. It doesn't quite connect as much as Hard Drive from last year. Big recommendation there, definitely check that one out. But it has this like grimy bassy synth line and these like shambling drums that work really well, kind of offset with her breathy voice. Definitely an artist I'm going to be keeping tabs on, and yeah, it's definitely worth a listen if you're into that kind of genre. Who we got next then? It's only bloody Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez seems to put out a song every minute. He's got a new track, it's called Taken Care. He's back in his R&B bag for this one.
You know I'm taking care of me.
Listen, Tory Lanez is a funny character, but like there's no denying his talent. My God, and his versatility. This is another smooth track. Listen, I kind of prefer the 80s stuff and the rapping stuff from him personally. Didn't he just release a song the week before as well? Fucking hell, he just never stops. The strange thing I can't get over about this song is it's called Taken Care, as in the past of take, but he talks about taking care of himself in the song. So it's very confusing. I don't know if it's just a deliberate play on words or it's just a misspelling, whatever. He's very, very talented. Who's ready for another guest? It's only bloody Joey Hip Hop, Gotham City Rap on Twitter. Take it away, Joe.
One of the best songs to drop in March was Diving Board by Redveil.
Said we was pressing through this shot, now we here.
Redveil is one of the best young artists out right now. Production on this track is fire, the lyricism is very poetic, and the hook is catchy. I cannot say enough good things about this kid. Like, this is just an overall great introspective track. His last album, Niagara, was really good. His next album is going to be up there with the Album of the Year contenders. If you like Mavi or Earl Sweatshirt or Tyler the Creator, definitely check Redveil out. This track is going to be on repeat for a long time.
Joey needs to upgrade from his Nokia camera phone, I think, but we still appreciate the recommendation. It's not all positive around here, though. This is rough corner. I mean, I feel a little bit bad about putting him in there, given the amount of grief that I've given him in the past few months. But yeah, it's Ed Sheeran with J Balvin. The track is called Sigue. Did we really need to hear Ed singing in Spanish? I mean, that's a bit unfair because I've praised The Weeknd for singing in Spanish recently. But I just kind of get that same cynical vibe from this than I did from listening to his last record. Everything's just, it's all a bit calculated. They're all calculated plays. How can I be as big as possible? That just feels like what I'm getting from a lot of Ed's music at the moment. This song just doesn't really do a great deal for me. And I think it doesn't help that I just heard the Rosalia album as well, which pushes this genre in multiple directions. This is a very standard kind of poppy reggaeton track, and the cover art makes me want to break my own knees. But it's not just about being mean about Ed Sheeran. I have to give him credit. That song with Fireboy DML that's played on the radio every 2 minutes over here, it's really good. It's really grown on me. You know that one? Peru. That is actually a banger. When he's like, when you gonna see me? When you gonna see me? Yeah, Ed. You still got it, mate. Let's get more of that. That's a banger. That's a banger. You don't need to get all the streams. I don't know. You just do whatever you want. Like I said, this show is not just about me. So some great recommendations I had come through from you guys when I put this out on Twitter. What are the best songs from the last few weeks? One that really stood out for me is KayCyy with, let me get this name right, Gesaffelstein. Pretty sure that's right. The track's called The Sun. KayCyy was the artist, the singer/rapper who sort of intertwined with the whole Dende project. And this track, The Sun, is a standout from this 3-track EP with Gesaffelstein. Guys, it gives me big 90210 vibes. I think you'll really like it if you like that. Similar instrumentation in the start. His voice really works. He goes into kind of a rapping part. A lot of you guys were recommending this whole EP to me, and you were right, to be honest. I don't know if he's going to be an artist that goes all the way there. He definitely has the potential in terms of the sound. I just think maybe this sound was a little bit a few years ago to get really, really, really big, but I might be wrong, and we might be talking about him as one of the main guys in the next 12 months. Another recommendation I had from a lot of people was the artist BabyTron. I checked out the track Letter to Cornelius.
Hope you got your blicky on it, cause I'm toting mine.
It's a weird one. It's kind of like if Playboi Carti was actually rapping, but also kind of rapping off beat. The instrumentation's similar. I couldn't work out if I liked it or not, but I've been hearing the name loads and loads and loads, and it feels like one of those artists that's going to be kind of constantly coming up over the next 12 months or so. So I'll be keeping an ear out, but I can't say this song massively did it for me, but I'm definitely interested to know your thoughts on this guy, BabyTron. All right, slight angle change on this one. Fontaines DC have a new track. It's called Skinty Fia or Fire.
Well, I really don't.
I've never quite settled on Fontaines DC myself. Like a combination of kind of the punky guitars and the drums, but the kind of languid, near almost like spoken word drawl of lead singer Grian Chetton. It's never really connected with me in a way that it seems to for their kind of rabid fan base. But it's definitely growing. This new song has a bit more sort of attack and punch to it than some of the other stuff that I've heard. I will say that people who love this band fucking love this band. They don't stop going on about them. And I love it when that happens. And sometimes you get those artists or bands that you just don't get for 6 months, a year, 3 years, and then something clicks, something connects. You hear the right description of their music from someone even. That can happen. And then suddenly it rewires your brain, or the music just gets under your skin. But I'm definitely trying to get into Fontaines DC, but I didn't mind this track at all. Remember, we've got my top 3 of the month coming up, but a few more to get through. We couldn't let the month go by without talking about Chance the Rapper, or I should say Chance the Rapper, really, shouldn't I? Child of God.
When I'm fatigued like a camo fit.
This is better, isn't it? Again, it's more like spoken word poetry than like a song, really. I mean, you could say hip hop's always like that, but the instrumental is very, very bare bones. But he's very good at doing that. Great alliteration. There's some great lines in the second verse. The world will make you second guess your first mind. comes out with that. Like I say, the instrumental, nothing to write home about. Video kind of low-key but artful. If this is kind of a signal of where we're going with Chance's new record, if you can combine that with something a little more grandiose in terms of the instrumentation, then we're definitely back in business. And it's good to see some of these artists like remembering what they're great at. There may be trends that are going in different direction, away from lyrical hip-hop, away from conscious hip-hop, but the audience for that music is still fucking massive. Let's see more of that and no more showers. Ooh, I like this one. Deante Hitchcock, Neck Up, featuring Dende and Bairi.
We gon' have a little fun, she gon' let me put this wood.
Almost certainly the best song about blowjobs so far in 2022. It's kind of sultry, smooth, it has a groove to it, and a hell of a couple of features from Dende and Bairi, who she feels like she's on the cusp of like really breaking through in R&B. It is a song about blowjobs, so I'm not going to try and say that it's something. Mentioning it straight after the Chance the Rap song is a bit of a clanging tone shift, but yeah, I think it's a fucking tune actually. It really is. Oh, this is one I literally listened to just before going on air or filming or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's probably filming, isn't it? To be honest, John, it's not on air. Marlon Craft. The perennially underrated Marlon Craft, new track, Hans Zimmer.
Everybody on the fence got pushed the fuck.
Marlon Craft spitting over a very Griselda type beat. The hook's a little cheesy. This is the soundtrack of A Dark Night. I'm Hans Zimmer. A little bit cheesy, but the verses, dude, the third verse on this, we're talking bars, we're talking substance, we're talking fire. So underrated, so prolific, Marlon Craft. And I know that so many of you guys really appreciate this type of music, that kind of proper New York rap, but very bar heavy, very wordplay heavy. This one, especially the beat and everything, definitely check that one out. I have to give a shout out to Ghetts, man, one of the greatest in the UK, in fact, in the whole world. He did the Daily Duppy for GRM, hitting 5 million subs.
The 5 series, giving up boy the old omnibus. Really?
They've got their new whole production for Daily Duppy, which is a bit similar to Mixtape Madness, but it's fucking amazing what we do over here with freestyle videos, just elevating it to a completely different level. It's amazing. Ghetts is a fucking alien. That's a line stolen from my man Lee to the VI. He's just one of the best operators in the world right now, and probably has been for a long time, but the fact he's operating at this level right now, impossibly brilliant rapper, a possibly brilliant performer, is a lyrical magician. Massive congrats as well to GRM for 5 million subs. That is a big deal. Industry changing platform. One of a few over here. But yeah, massive congrats with Ghetts, dude. Top 3 of the month time. And we're coming back home for this one. This is Knucks with Leon the Professional.
Flesh. Did you ever hear the story about Leon?
The name stood out for me straight away because Leon is one of my favorite films of all time. And I'd been hearing the name Knucks for a while as somebody that I needed to check out, but I hadn't yet. Actually, this came on the radio on Clara Amfo's show on Radio 1, and man, incredible storytelling track. Complex bars with like witty punchlines, but real like some hard hitting elements as well. Talking about a London hitman, obviously in reference to Leon as well, the Jean Reno movie. To really oversimplify this track and this artist, think of like a grittier Dave, but in terms of this song anyway, kind of almost another level of storytelling. I really was blown away by this track. I've kind of had it on repeat. I know a lot of you guys are from the US and you don't necessarily fuck with the UK stuff too much, and I can understand that to a point, but I also know a lot of you guys are really into Little Sims, getting into Dave and a few other artists. Ghetts would be another one I'd put onto that list for you guys, but Knucks seems like somebody that you can add to that too. Listen, I'm basing it on one track, but definitely a standout, man. Actually, fucking go and listen to it. Go and listen to it. Second of my favourite 3 of the month, it's Benny the Butcher, it's Boldy James, it's Weekends in the Perrys.
Word to every block in my city, they heard I got.
This isn't one that I've heard many people talking about as their favourite from Tana Talk 4, but I think it's my favourite from Tana Talk 4. Boldy James rhymes his whole verse without seemingly even acknowledging the fact that anybody else is in the room. I mean, it almost sounds like he didn't look up. Alchemist goes into the far reaches of space and the heavens to find this just stunning beat, and Benny does what Benny does. He delivers like he does every single track. Yeah, it's my favourite from Tana Talk 4. What's your favourite from Tana Talk 4? Let me know, but man, yeah, I love it. I've had it on repeat. And then wrapping up my track of the month, it's Denzel Curry, it's JID, it's Rico Nasty, it's Josiah, and it's Powers Pleasant with Ain't No Way. I mean, the whole album is standout really, but I picked this one mainly because of Denzel's outrageous Run the Jewels bar. Run the Jewels because of Killer Mike on every LP. Black super smooth verse, which kind of changes the pace of the song in a really nice way. Rico Nasty kills it. The beat switches up in a really satisfying way, and we only get a little brief bit of JID but even in those few lines, the alliteration is crazy, another alien. But shout out to Denzel Curry, man, for elevating his whole game, in my opinion, and taking everything to another level to really sort of establish himself at the absolute top table of rap music right now. And I'll be amazed if this album doesn't make it into my top 10 of the year. That's it for the month, guys. I want to see your favorite tracks from the month down in the comments, because it won't just be me reading them, we'll all be reading them. If you're still here, you obviously love music and my wonderful British accent, so hit subscribe for more of all of that, and I'll see you all very soon.